All right, I have a couple of quick stories to briefly talk about. This is an interesting one. It is now appearing that Donald Trump has been desperate to appear on Joe Rogan's podcast and that Joe Rogan has turned him down. We're going to look at a clip of Rogan himself explaining this. There's a Daily Beast article. Joe Rogan reveals he's rejected Trump multiple times for interview. Rogan recently declared his support for Ron DeSantis. On Tuesday, he said he's absolutely no Trump fan and has no desire to assist him in any way, shape, or form. This was on a podcast with host Lex Friedman, and Rogan talked about how weird the Trump era is going to be in retrospect. Some of the reasons Rogan cited are not ones I agree with, but that's okay. Let's listen to what Joe Rogan had to say about Trump wanting to be on his show.
By the way, I'm not a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. I've had the opportunity to have him on my show more than once. I've said no every time. I don't want to help him. I'm not interested in helping him.
Now, one interesting question is whether such an interview would be a good interview for someone like Joe Rogan and his show. Because when you think about the Rogan format, which is 3-hour conversations, and I've been on for 2 of them on his show, often in depth, and sort of flighty, non-sequential thinking is not very conducive to those types of conversations. And this is what Trump does. You ask him about one thing and you say, hey, you know, what's the deal with I heard you like fast food. And yeah, well, you know, KFC, you know, they make a tremendous bird. And but the thing is, you know, the Democrats and radical Joe Biden, they want to control everything. Not only did he lose, he wants to take away burgers. And I mean, you just can't have it. And I said I would fix it. I would fix all of it. I would fix trade. You know, it's not, he's not even really able to have that type of a conversation. And, you know, the speculation of Trump with adult ADHD or whatever. I think the guy just has no idea what's going on in any serious depth with any topic. I think that's really the explanation. And Trump would ramble on and interrupt and interject about the election stolen or whatever. So from like a conversational standpoint, I don't know how Trump does a 3-hour conversation with Rogan. That's not a praise or a criticism of the format. I think it's great to have podcasts of all different formats. And the 3-hour conversation is a great format for people who can do it. It doesn't seem to me that Trump could do it. Now, in terms of Rogan doesn't want to help Trump, as I've said before, I don't think there's any like big mystery about Rogan. I think Rogan admits he's not the most keyed into politics, and Rogan to a degree is a chameleon of sorts. When I was on his show and I espoused all of my left-wing ideas, Joe agreed with almost everything I had to say. And then when he has on, you know, whoever from the right, he agrees generally with most of the things they have to say. He's had disagreements that I've covered with people like, he's had disagreements with Ben Shapiro on some things. He's had disagreements with Candace Owens, you know, right wingers in a sense. And to a degree, I think that what's happening with Rogan is he is, when it comes to a lot of different areas, he is clearly on the left when you get into the details. I think he genuinely is. I think he's also culturally conservative. A lot of the circles he's now in, you know, UFC and Dana White, definite right-wing bent there. He's now in Texas and reportedly, I think, has a relationship with the governor there, Greg Abbott, who's an extreme right-winger. He's in this environment where there's a lot of kind of de facto right-wing thinking. And then like on DeSantis, I just think he's sort of confused. I don't even think Rogan is aware that DeSantis stands for the opposite of most of the things Rogan has espoused support for. So I don't think we need to get into this thing of like ascribing a significant morality to it. I think politics isn't Rogan's main thing, and he finds common ground with almost anyone he talks to. And while he is socially liberal to a great degree, he's also in a culturally conservative environment, and that rubs off on him. So interesting for sure. How much we glean from it about anything in particular, other than Trump's desperation to get on Rogan's podcast, which is interesting, is probably not too much. As many of you know, I take my snacks very seriously. I avoid excess sugar and junk food. And so when I want something sweet, I go to our sponsor, Monk Pack. Monk Pack makes my favorite granola bars and nut and seed bars. If you're doing keto, it works. Just 1 gram of sugar or less, only 2 to 3 net carbs, under 150 calories. The flavors are delicious. Sea salt dark chocolate, that's my favorite. You've got your coconut cocoa chip. You've got your caramel sea salt. The texture, the flavors. This is a beautiful granola bar. And then you've got Monk Pack's nut and seed bars, which are more crunchy. If you're craving something like a crunchy chocolate candy bar, Monk Pack is the perfect thing to grab instead. Same taste, same experience, none of the carbs and sugars and calories. Get 20% off your first order at monkpack.com using the code PACMAN at checkout. The link is down below.